Hello, welcome to Global Business. I am Imewore Yobokai, your host. Today on the program, we are doing two things. Yes. First, the Subnational Budget Transparency Index Survey was released by CIRDDOC, Nigeria. Of course, we shall be looking at that results, the unveiling of the reports. We will give you clips of the event that unveiled the report. Then we'll sit down with engineer Ralph Ndigwe, who is the lead researcher, project coordinator of the project. And we'll talk about the results of that project. Then we'll be visiting some young people, youth. We call them the street projects. What do they do? Yes, they are involved in the act of entertainment, but making entertainment a business and following their passion.
At the World Bank, transparency and accountability is fundamental. But as was earlier said, transparency is actually the first step in the journey towards achieving accountability. Therefore, it is extremely important, but it's not that we stop over there, and that is where there is a very important role for all the civil society organizations that are present here today and who collaborated in bringing about this survey and this report to us today.
Citizens and civil society are taking stock of government's performance. Budgets are the basis for public expenditure and can positively or negatively affect the lives and well-being of citizens, depending on the inclusiveness and transparency of that process. Citizen participation in the budget process has profound implications for the long-term growth and development of Nigeria at federal and state level.
I want to speak specifically about how important this survey we are launching today is. The survey is useful as it reflects the current situation of things in states with respect to budget and procurement process and citizens' participation in governance in the states. For states that have performed very well, the testimony is very clear. The citizens have given a verdict on how they perceive states with respect to availability of information in the budget.
We are delivering report, and being the best state in Nigeria in terms of budget transparency, I have the honor and privilege to unveil this report.
Thank you very much, Engineer Ralph Ndigwe, for joining us on Global Business. Now, you just released the 2018 Subnational Budget Transparency Report. It's an index survey for states, 36 states of the Federation. Tell us about this report.
Yeah, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Well, first of all, the survey is the first independent assessment investigating three components of transparency in Nigerian states. The first is the level of public access to timely and comprehensive budget information. Second is the extent of opportunities provided by states to their citizens to participate in the budget process. And finally, the level of public access to procurement information and processes. This survey compares the performance in all the 36 states, identifies best practices, and recommends how state budgeting and procurement systems can be more open and participatory.
Why is this exercise not yearly? Because I mean, you did this thing in 2015, next one 2018. One would have thought that it will be a yearly thing.
No, actually, it's not possible to do it annually because you are monitoring a whole year a whole budget cycle from beginning to the end. So if you pick a year like we picked 2018, we started the work early at the beginning of 2018. We had to monitor the performances of the states across the board for 12 months.
Okay.
It's only after that you start to analyze the data gathered and you write the reports. That's why it takes 2 years minimum, or at least 18 months minimum.
Okay, so let's hear the results for 2018.
Well, as you had yesterday in the launch, the results there isn't much difference, or we've not had a better performance as against the 2015. This year, the averages are only 3 points higher than that of 2015. This year, the average score is 29, while 2015 was 26. In spite of all the little increase, a lot of states are still not providing enough information, budget information to their citizens, and they are not giving enough space for participation, which is required for sufficient transparency. This year's result is, like I said, not so good, but there are states that have performed very well. States like Jigawa, Lagos, Kaduna, exactly, yeah, Kaduna, Delta State. There are also states, it's also of importance to mention that there are states that performed very well in 2015 that have gone down badly this year. For instance, states like Cross River State, that was the best in 2015, has gone down seriously. And some other states too, from the report we gave you. But on average, we're still expecting more from the states.
So while speaking, you talked about the fact that some states have not published or don't publish. In your own view, I mean, I know you did this with 36 states with civil society groups. In your own view and the view of your researchers, what is the challenge? Why are governments not publishing this on the website or making it open and transparent? What is the challenge?
Well, I wouldn't say that they don't want to do it. First, I believe is capacity. Because one, it takes a lot for you to be disciplined enough and have the knowledge to organize your reports on time to be uploaded online. Secondly, what we discovered was that most state websites are not maintained. You open a lot of states' websites, all you see is the governor's picture, maybe his few things he has done, visits he has done, and all those type of things. You can hardly find the real documentation, reports about how the budget is implemented and the rest of them. No. There's what we call budget implementation reports, quarterly reports. It must be done quarterly. Many states don't produce it, or where they produce for internal use, just as a matter of just internal reports for either administration or whatever, but not for the public. Well, let me say one thing. We've come a long way, like I said in the report. I said in the launch. The states produce a lot of documents, but they don't publish because a lot of states do not regard the ICT as an important arm or an institution of governance in the state. That is what we recommend to states, that first and foremost, any governor that comes in, any administration that comes in, should set up a very strong ICT department. Not headed by a very junior officer, but headed by, at minimum, special advisor to the governor, so that the ministries, departments can obey and use the templates provided to upload their report as on time. as at when due. Because if they are not posted on time, then they score no marks. For instance, I give you for instance, the budget proposal must be uploaded before, during presentation or before presentation. That means that you give opportunity to the citizens to know what is in the budget, prepare for their attendance of the participation in the public hearing, budget defense hearings, and contribute effectively, and also contribute effectively towards the subsequent stakeholder meetings.
Okay, now you have talked about the government. Let's go to the citizens. If government publishes this, citizens may or may not be interested in seeing this online. So how do you spur the interests of citizens so that they can be able to go online, or at least go to where this budget has been published so they could get the information for their use?
First of all, I must tell you from our experience, from what we saw in the field, many citizens are already looking for information because of the good work, the effective work of civil society. Civil society has been working in the area of budget for the past 15 to 20 years in Nigeria. Even in most of the states, you have civil society groupings representing the citizens that have been looking into the budgets of the state. So they need it. There's no problem about that. It is also, this project mandates the state governments to create awareness among their citizens. It is not that the government should just throw the documents and go to sleep. No. They must organize workshops, associations, stakeholders, fora that will engage the citizens, that will create awareness among the citizens to enable the citizens participate in the discussions that go on during the budget process. In some of the good states like Jigawa, which we talked about, there are very organized civil society groups that are specialized in education, water and sanitation, works, and so on and so forth. They engage the ministries from the beginning of the budget to the end of the budget. A lot of states are already doing them.
Okay, so we are almost at the end of the year now, and let's just assume that some states have not done all that you have advised to do. What would be your advice for states who are preparing their budgets? Some budgets are already prepared, but I know that some are in the process. What would you advise states to do?
What I advise first is for every state government to ensure that their website is managed properly. Website is not a decoration. Website is for information dissemination, both to the citizens and to the outside world. They are intrastate and interstate. Like Kaduna State now, that is doing very well in managing their resources. You know that a lot of states look into what they are doing and they learn from them. It's because they post these things online. If they kept them in their cupboards, nobody will know what they are doing and nobody will learn from them.
Anyway, thank you very much, Engineer Ralph Ndigwe, who is the lead researcher for, of course, this whole process of the Subnational Budget Transparency Report. Thank you for joining us on the program. The program continues.
The NRC implements the Natural Resource Charter, which is a global initiative that is implemented across the world by the Natural Resource Governance Institute.
And what the NNRC Charter basically is defined 12 precepts. The first is to improve the economic and social well-being of the country using the natural resource.
You know, business can never be successful if you do not follow your passion. So we shall be seeing the young people follow their passions in this episode of Global Business. It's an exciting episode. You don't want to miss it. So just sit down, relax, and let's have business fun together.
There's a detachment from here, leaving this. As this is illegal, there is a joining here, outside the other side, a joining here, also at the other side, which you can quickly detach and keep in the bag. So, what we do, we see to objective is to enroll as encompassing places and places to be well-defined artists. So people who are well-versed in their crafts is our point of business. So I am the highest shareholder with with 25% of the company share. Elizabeth has 80%, Member has 20, Rachel has 52, and Mercy has 5, Ashona has 10%.
She is the financial head of finance, and she works as a marketing manager, and she is the head of finance, and she's going to take you through the whole business. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome aboard. I'm colleagues in business and social. So I'm going to answer for you because I'm not to spend much of the time. I need a rundown of what I want to talk about. So you just follow me up a little bit, don't be angry. Now, before I start anything on the board or start writing anything on the board, we talked about the objective of our company. Our objective is to provide quality and hygienic water for people. We know that there are other companies that are already into the production of water. But what really makes us outstanding is our unique selling point, which is producing a water that comes with a design of a cup that has a straw. So if you don't want to, that has a straw, that's something that comes with a straw. So if you don't want to open it all together and then turn it, you can actually use the straw and then it becomes something for you. So
you have your food straw.
The straw has no reason I can have it. So for I can show you how to do it. For instance, you take this big bottle of water and then someone can just actually say the bottle here has a straw.
Yeah, that's what I want to say, because I wanted to know that the straw was going to be open. I will not buy that one.
It's going to be sealed. So you can actually open it, take a seal, and then seal it down and the water is still being preserved.
Now you know a bit about it, but let's go deeper and see what this project is all about, because you just saw actions and you saw some people doing some things that looked very, very nice, isn't it? So we have the founder and lead visionary of the program, Rita Ezenwa-Okoro.
Yay! I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you very much, Rita, for
Thank you.
talking with us. Now, tell us what's this all about?
First of all, Street Project Foundation is a social enterprise that uses performing arts and creative arts in general to facilitate opportunities for youth employment, enterprise development, and cross-cultural dialogue. Now, Creative Youth Bootcamp is one of our manifestations. And the whole idea is to identify young people who are between the ages of 16 to 25 years old, who are gifted in dance, music, visual arts, all genres of the creative arts, and create a safe space where all of them can converge and use the discipline of the creative arts to prepare them for the world of work.
Okay, so that's like preparing them for the world.
Yes.
And this all has to do with the creatives.
Yes, you have to be gifted in music, dance, drama, visual arts, spoken word, creative writing, and all. And so it's really not about them coming in to become superstars overnight. It's about learning the discipline of the arts. The discipline of the arts can be translated into performing in life. So for example, improvisation develops your critical thinking skills. When you're learning drama, you're learning dance, you're actually learning how to perform, how public speaking, communication, you're learning all of those things and you're learning them unconsciously. Or visual arts, for instance, it just frees up your mind, and also when you're doing it as a group, teaches you the importance of building a team. And those are the soft skills that we train our young people in, making sure that the facilitators who come in are people who are already making a living doing what they love. And so they're seeing that example in front of them, and it translates into their everyday life. And then after the boot camp, because the boot camp we're running in Abuja is running for 6 weeks. After the boot camp, they are placed on internships and also matched with mentors. That aspect is so critical. A lot of our Street Project ambassadors today have gone through that process, and that marks a turning point in their lives.
This is your second or third boot camp, isn't it?
This is a third boot camp.
Third boot camp.
Yes.
You have products from your successful products who can tell success stories, especially when it comes to making a living out or making a living out of this, what they have gained from the boot camp.
Absolutely, the likes of Just Too Funny.
Wow, you mean Just Too Funny is part of this?
Yes.
He started like this?
He started like every one of them. In 2011, he was discovered on the streets. We've got footages of some of his old performances, and it's amazing to see how he has grown and has become an internet sensation, traveling all over the world today.
And making money.
And making money.
That's it about this. I am more interested in how these kids leave this place and go to make money.
Yes.
And you just talked of mentorship and boot camp. I mean, mentorship and internship.
Yes.
Do you follow up? And have you seen these ones? I mean, apart from the ones, how do you follow up to make sure that they begin to explore and blossom?
Now, anyone who finishes the Creative Youth Bootcamp joins our alumni, and they all become what we call Street Project ambassadors. And thanks to technology, you can do a lot of things. And so what we are really building is a movement of young people, transformational leaders, which is our vision. Really what we're trying to do is to raise a critical mass of transformational leaders making a living doing what they love. And so follow up and building that alumni base is critical to us. And so we definitely have internal structures and systems put in place to ensure that we follow up where they are. Those of them who have not been able to move as fast as the others, see who else we can match them up with. If they need additional trainings or opportunities are also shared in that network. And it goes on and on that way, and we're able to place them and also build their capacity.
My next question will be, where's the funding coming from? Where's the funding coming? Because all these cost money.
Most definitely. Like because it comes to them free of charge. I remember my first charge to them was, it's free, but it's not free. And so yes, the first 2 boot camps were funded by the United States Consulate in Lagos. And we ran that, and we trained up to 200 young people and placed 50% of them in jobs. And now we've come to the city of Abuja. I'm so excited about that. And we're being funded by Voice Nigeria, and we're excited that we're going to have 4 cohorts running in Abuja, and we just started with the first 25.
Yes, but how much would you say it is for a boot camp of 6 weeks? Approximately.
Per head. I think what I would do would be, if we were to do it per head, we're looking at hundreds of thousands of naira. If we had to just train one person, if I had to quantify that.
So you're thinking of what we're saying, that you're spending
millions of naira to make this happen.
In 6 weeks.
Yes, we are.
Thank you very much, Rita, for talking with us. And we've been talking to Rita Ezenwa-Okoro, who is the founder and lead visionary of the Street Project Foundation, and they are the conveners of the Creative Youth Bootcamp. So, we'll be back after this break. A community of about 8,000 to 10,000 people.
As you see, the water when there, if you drink out from under the pot.
Even the Niger place you went to, you cannot even enter there. Every day erosion.
Our right is not even being given to us.
The needful they're supposed to do for us as a community is not done.
Wow, great time with those young minds as they had so many things doing at the Creative Youth Bootcamp right here in Abuja. It's been wonderful doing business with you this week. I hope you enjoyed the talk with Rita, and of course that talk with Ralph Ndigwe on subnational government's budget transparency survey. Anyway, I hope the state governments have learnt a thing or two from that discussion with Ralph. So just make your budget transparent. It's wonderful doing business with you. Let's do business again next week. I am Imewareyohiamokai. Remember, I love doing business with you.